When I do that, is Andrew going all around the world? All right.
Open your mouth, prepare your tongue, because you're about to get a taste.
I cannot believe we've gone 12 episodes without me being able to talk about Final Fantasy.
Well, I know the doll is bad, so I gotta think the dusty balloon is less bad.
I mean, if all life everywhere ends, what have I lost?
Facial hair as a theme is not something I ever would have chosen.
So yeah, that's the one that Rock is just sweaty the whole time.
He's got that good pointy Jafar beard.
I've got 3 pages of AMA citations.
This is the Debate This podcast.
Hello, and welcome to Debate This, the show where no one is right, but someone is definitely wrong. In this podcast, we take time out of our busy adult lives to talk about spooky comics, scary video games, and how Ultron in the MCU was a robotic Robert California, and I think we can do better.
I don't think we can. I'm going to disagree with you.
No.
I had to Google who Robert California was because I didn't watch The Office.
What?
He's the Lizard King, Matt. All
I,
right, we don't have
I
time
don't think
for
I've
that.
ever met anybody that hasn't. Whatever.
What? That has more of a personality than I like The Office?
Okay.
Come at me, it's not that
Everyone.
good. It's
Bad
not that
take.
good, and I'll be that guy.
It's the PBR of TV. Everybody likes it.
Well, as we come to the spooky final stop on our Spooktacular Express, we're going out in a spooky blaze of spooky glory. Boys, today I've got just one question for you before we get started. How do you like that, Silver? That's
I-
so.
I don't know
you
what it was, but I didn't like it.
You two don't know what that is. That's right.
I like that reference.
Well, with the forthcoming Netflix series on its way, we are jumping into the world of The Witcher. So for those of you who are uninitiated, The Witcher is a series of games and books, if you're that sort of nerd.
Ding.
Yep, there it is. That follows Geralt of Rivia as he embarks on major adventures that are often sidelined by innumerable side quests that involve taking on contracts to help townfolk with their super unfortunate monster problems. So we're talking vampires, griffins, specters, dragons, insectoids, leshens, cannibals. It doesn't matter when you have a Witcher on the case and if you have enough cash on hand.
I have a question.
You with the hand.
What is a leshen?
I also have that question.
Oh, it's metal as fuck, and we're gonna talk about it later.
Yeah, I don't know how to best describe a leshen.
I refuse to Google image search it. Describe it to me.
It looks like something that you would see on the cover of a metal album.
That does not narrow it down.
That's not good.
It's like the Goat Man demon
Yeah,
that you would see in like a satanic
they're
art, like fan art.
they're like
you know?
forest. Think like forest monsters, tainted evil druids.
Also the name of a city in China.
What's the album cover on Mastodon's third album? That's a lesson.
Okay, all right. You got me there.
Yeah, like evil forest spirits is probably
Yeah.
the best way. that I
If you
can
look
do
at the
that.
cover of Blood Mountain by Mastodon, that is a lesson.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
You immediately
Yep.
brought it home to Matt.
Yep.
So I'm
what I
I'm Todd Thomas, and as the host that would most likely be played by Henry Cavill in a Netflix special about my life, I'm obviously going to be moderating today's discussion over the editions. We will not be taking questions over
Who
that
are you
former
to make
statement.
that
We will not
claim,
be taking
Todd?
questions. We're moving on.
Jesus.
I will be moderating today's discussion over what additions to the Witcher universe we need. Joining me as potential hapless townfolk here in this world of Witchers, I have Andrew, School of the Ferret Henderson, Matt, School of the Spider Cole, and Kyle, School of the Pigeon Harper.
I'm not a potential hapless townfolk, Todd. I am a hapless townfolk.
Gentlemen, the wind's a howlin', and a Witcher like me is scanning a local contract posting board looking to score some coin. And, to be honest, ignore the main plotline a little longer.
Wait, okay, so does that mean, like, through these games you play as the Witcher? Because I've never known. Like, I've never known what
Yes.
the title of the games are.
Yeah.
So you are the Witcher.
The synonym, the eponymous Witcher is you, Geralt of Rivia. You are a Witcher, which is a lifestyle, a career, and a type of person that was changed and transmogrified by science.
Think about what John was as Spartan 117, like the Master Chief.
Mhm.
Put that in a
Todd, I
D&D
never
world.
played Halo.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
They are basically, I'm pretty sure, maybe even as children, but young, they're like experimented on and turned into witchers, which they're monster hunters that can use magic. It's pretty metal. It's awesome.
I think the Master Chief comparison is really tight.
That like sealed it for me. That's a good comparison. How many things are we going to describe as pretty metal in this episode?
All things are metal.
At least 7.
Well, we're at 3, so
So to be clear, you 3 are hapless townsfolk today, and you are going to sell me on why I, the Witcher, should be helping you in this Witcher world. So I am very uninterested in the main story plot right now, so I'm looking to go to the contract board. When I see your contract on the board, what does it say, and what is the reward?
Before I jump in, I want to call my shot early and say there's going to be at least 3 well in the books, and then
no one can see you push your glasses up your nose when you do that.
Yeah, but everybody knows.
But we all felt it.
Yeah,
everybody knew it. Am I going first? Can I go first?
Yeah, that's how that's.
You're first in the Google Doc.
Well, I'm first in my notes, which is the only name in here. All right, so I'm going to start by giving you some stage notes here. En route to the capital city of Vizima, you come across a small village in the city's outskirts. Stop shaking your head. You gave me this power. There's not much there, save for a couple of ramshackle cottages, a dilapidated inn, and a small blacksmith stall. In the center of the village is a large wooden board covered in paper flyers. One particular flyer catches your eyes as you see Witcher wanted, offering 1,000 gold. I have dollars here. It's supposed
That's
to be
not
gold.
that currency, but I got you.
To find and kill a super scary ghost monster. It ate my sheep and wants to eat me next. Signed, Villager Jim. So you say to yourself, could be a Leshen or even a Sylvan. Better ask around. That was my Geralt voice.
You screamed ghost monster. I think you meant goat monster.
What did I say?
Ghost
Could
monster.
be. I mean, it could be both.
It was goat monster.
Is it a
That's what I meant.
ghost? Is it a ghost goat monster?
It could be. It's not out of the question.
The new DLC to Goat Simulator.
Or is it the greatest of all time monster?
I mean,
Thank you, Matt.
Very good.
God.
You're welcome.
Very good. Very good.
I'm so glad LeBron is in this game.
For clarity, because I am an idiot, it is a super scary goat monster. And not incorporeal.
as I was holding that contract, I was like, oh, is it a goat or a goat's monster? You like popped in like, goat. It's goat. Goat.
and then popped back behind the board.
Well, in the books, it's actually a goat. See what I did? So as you approach the villager Jim's smelly mud hut, you're approached by a scruffy-looking guard. He's in all black, save for the yellow emblem on his chest. So you recognize him as a Nilfgaardian soldier. Halt, outsider! What are you doing out here in these parts? Don't you know this land is Nilfgaardian territory? You can respond if you want.
Yeah, it is. I wasn't ready. I was like letting you play in your headspace.
That was really good.
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm just gonna fast forward.
Yeah.
So, you as the Witcher explain you're responding to a contract for a scary goat monster. Oh, these bloody savages concocting fairy tales about monsters. What a crock! It's just a matter of time until His Majesty the Emperor makes them see the light of their ways. The other guys in the room, Nilfgaard is an imperial empire, and they want to convert everyone and take over the whole land. So the story here is that they've taken over this part of the world or this part of the country, and they're declaring martial law, et cetera, et cetera.
This is
Next
part
person.
podcast, part book report today.
Next person.
Andrew's pitching this to Project Red when we hang up on this call.
I love The Witcher, you guys.
Let's prepare all our listeners, because there's going to be a stark difference between Andrew's responses to the questions today and Matt and I's responses to the questions today.
So Todd, to summarize, picture this as like the first town in The Witcher 3, White Orchard, where it's like kind of a shitty little village outside of a big town that's been taken over by Nilfgaard. They're kind of like, they've got kind of the run of the town, basically just kind of, harassing villagers and just kind of making trouble for everybody in the veiled, explanation of law. So that's the situation.
Sounds pretty serious. Glad there's 100 1,000 coin or whatever the currency is that we've decided on in this moment.
1,000 units of money.
Yes, 1,000 monies. Great.
All right.
Matt, what do you have for me? And does it fit on less than 30 slides?
1, yes. 2, I need to re-clarify Kyle's point that like if I have not made it clear enough, I do not know these games.
I don't know what a good bounty is to like compare
Yeah, right,
Andrew's
doesn't matter.
1,000 gold to what
1,000
mine
is
would.
pretty good.
Okay.
1,000 is like it's like pretty good, but could be better.
Kyle, I don't know if you did this today, but I Googled currency in Witcher, and they're like 15. There's so many. There's
Okay.
a gold exchange in these games.
Because every area is its own city state and has its own particular currency. In the game, you use orans, which in the books.
Oh my Jesus, there's 2.
Oh no!
In the game, you use orans is only because you're using Temerian currency, even though Temeria has been ousted by Nilfgaard.
Listen. Okay.
Did we
shut up.
miss-
Everyone shut up.
I feel so alive right now.
Did we miss a flavor
Oh.
text on this series?
If everyone just says 1,000, 1,000 is great. Don't say another word after 1,000. Just say 1,000, and that's.
I've never felt more alive.
Oh God.
Wait, I can't do that because I already wrote something else,
Then
Todd.
don't say any number. 1,000 is pretty good, and then move from there, and just don't say what after that.
No, but it's part of my plot, Todd.
Then
I
make
can't-
it that. That's whatever you say is what it is now. Just don't
Okay.
say orans or whatever else.
All right, well, I'm going to go on this silly adventure that I have you on now, because I guess it's my turn. So you're a Witcher, right? And you're like walking through the woods and stuff. And you come across this lonely town that I found the name of on Wikipedia called Claywitch. And you see on the bulletin board outside of the inn this contract, and it goes like this. Contract, a serpent in our midst, calling for assistance to exterminate a terror in our humble village. We, the citizens of Claywitch, live in fear of leaving our homes as we are tormented by a giant serpent. The beast has swallowed a third of our village, leaving us with nothing but their shoes. All who have tried to vanquish the beast have been devoured, only causing the beast to double in size. We seek a Witcher of great strength and fortitude, would also prefer one who tastes bad. The head of the beast will earn you 500 copper, the most our small village can muster. We also offer you new rare boots.
Ooh. Boots. I've fortunately enough for you, Matt, my full Witcher armor outfit right now is lacking in boots.
Great,
So-
we have boots! Todd, we have boots. We'll make you boots.
That was really good for never having played a Witcher. You kind of nailed it.
Thanks, yeah. Like I said off the call, Todd said to Google image search Witcher contracts, and that's what I did. And that's all I got.
And
so-
that is the foundation of this argument today.
Yep.
That was 1,000 apes got together and watched 1,000 hours of The Witcher and put together one contract or whatever that is that old adage is.
Okay, I'm done. I don't have any other lore to build. Go ahead, Kyle.
Kyle, up next, where do you stand on citations, and are you offering me boots?
So what I've got for you, Todd, is a flyer on the contracts board, kind of lazily written, but on a very ornate, on a very ornate parchment, but very very lazily written. Just seeking a Witcher, offering 5,000 to exterminate a hellhound that has been attacking my subjects. In addition to some public pressure from the rabble, it's also difficult to collect taxes from dead subjects than it is living ones. And I've got new stables to build. Is scrawled on this note, but that 5,000 is very largely written.
That is straight to the point. That is painting me a good picture. That is a hefty amount of murmur, and I'm liking what I'm hearing.
I'm so glad that we've adopted the hand motion for that everyone on this audio format can certainly see.
I wrote it out in my own notes as MER over 3 times. So
I have to do a quick publisher's errata here. Actually, so I said it was orans. Orans are the old currency that you trade to get crowns, which is the nude currency,
Stop.
which is essentially Kedwedian instead of
Well,
Marion.
well, you know what? This whole podcast was really going to fall apart if we didn't have that here with us today.
I'm really glad that we were able to.
Andrew's
that's
playing a
figured out.
separate game, which is to see how many people he can get to stop listening before the episode ends.
Just go ahead and at us on Debate This with the timestamp of when you stopped listening. Whoever gets to the end, we'll send you a sticker or something. All right. So moving on. Place of power. Gotta be. That's another good. That's another good Witcher quote. If you don't, all right.
This is fun, you guys.
Yeah, your contracts all sound intriguing enough, and I'm looking to 100% this run through the game. So yeah, I'm gonna grab them all. Now that I've arrived at the agreed upon location, tell me about your character, their story, what the monster is here, and how our first interaction goes.
You want me to start?
Yeah, no, this is you. That's how this whole podcast has been set up from the very, very beginning.
All right. So you just got out of your confrontation with the Nilfgaardian guard. You approach villager Jim, who's sweeping dirt off of his dirt floor in his mud hut. Oh, hello.
Oh boy.
I'm villager Jim, and this is me very plain wife.
That's rude.
Are we on Australia?
Well,
I didn't say it would be a good accent. She don't got a name on account of this here's a very patriarchal society. So she's just here to churn butter.
You went through like 5 accents in one
man,
sentence.
keep going.
I'm gonna lose the accent here. You're answering my contract? Oh, thank the gods. There's some frightful goat monster here, been running amok and eating all our sheep. I heard a terrible sound the other night, like the howl of a beast. Then shortly after, I heard a loud mashing noise, like someone was gnawing on a chicken bone. I ran outside, making sure not to wake up me very plain, very homely wife.
Is she like standing next to you as you say this, churning butter?
Yeah.
Follow-up
She doesn't have any
question.
lines.
Is this like the other guys where she's like super hot and Will Ferrell just doesn't know?
No, everybody in this universe is ugly and greasy.
Okay.
And wet. They're all
And
wet.
everyone's very wet.
They're clammy is the word I would use for them.
Yeah.
Dewy.
You're welcome.
And what I found was truly horrific. My sheep were lying there in a bloody mess, guts spilling out only half covered by strips of flesh. Something had gobbled up most of the meat and left a mangled mess. I caught a glimpse of some terrible beast with a goat's head and antlers like a deer galloping back into the dark woods. Well, I immediately ran the other way and locked the door behind me, like the hapless coward I am.
Sounds like a pretty serious problem, Jim.
Villager Jim's very self-aware of his shortcomings.
He's pretty enlightened for a greasy towns person. So what would you like to do, Witcher?
First off, enlightened is probably not the word I would use for Jim.
Well,
he's
aware. Is probably better.
Aware is correct. Well, do you know anything about the goat monster? Where'd it came from? This is a bad accent too, man. This is not an accent podcast.
Yeah, we practice this a lot.
I want to be clear. That is not my Geralt impression. That's my Henry Cavill impression. That's me.
Henry Cavill as Geralt.
That's just Todd's sexy voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're gonna be Geralt, you got to be a lot gravelier.
Yeah, it's all very gravelly.
So he kind of explains. He points you in the direction of where he saw the horrifying beast, and points you toward the direction of the woods.
Oh man, well I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Witcher sense all over his cabin.
You sure are. So you flip on detective mode, and you find a note kind of like tucked in tucked like under a couple things on the top of a table. And you read it, and it says the monthly military protection tax is tripled. The note has the emblem of the Nilfgaard Empire, so you can surmise that the guards are extorting the town.
I'm going to confront Jim because I think Jim's full of lies. Jim has secrets.
Jim gets a little upset and goes, "Get out of here before me very plain wife chases you out with a broom."
That's fair. I mean, she's been through enough.
So you flip on that detective mode and you follow the trail of blood in the direction that Jim pointed out.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
I assume that's what you're doing. So you follow the highlighted path for about 45 to 50 seconds, and you fight a couple of those little watery creatures along the way.
The
says,
neckers?
"How do you like that?" Yeah, the neckers, yeah. And he says, and then you say, "Damn, you're ugly," because that's the only That was the only
things he
reference
says.
I didn't see.
How do you like that silver? And damn, you're ugly. That's
Yeah.
really it over and over again.
Yeah, I like this podcast that we've created. So you come across another corpse, but this time it's a human.
Yeah, gonna keep detective mode. I wanna rummage
Yeah.
through to see if I can find and see how much murmur it's carrying.
Yeah, it's got 3 murmurs
Hell
because
yeah.
it's specifically Nilfgaardian currency. You ID the corpse to be a Nilfgaardian guard, which obviously. Now the body is cold, so it's definitely not the one you met earlier, but you can surmise using the same unit. And
shoot.
it's just covered in blood and mangled guts.
So that's not dead sheep. That's dead human.
Say that in a gravelly voice.
That's not dead sheep. That's dead human. I'm kind of like I'm channeling like
That was good.
like an old person playing bingo who's never left the smoking bingo hall. Like I think that's the kind of deep. Yeah.
Yeah. That was good. That was good. Definitely workshop that. So I assume you're gonna do the little like investigate where you kind of like turn their head a little bit and you find everything that's ever happened to that particular person.
Yeah, that's it.
That's a really fun part of The Witcher. So you find some wounds on the body, but the wounds look like more that he was just stabbed by a weapon rather than being mauled by a beast,
By a goat.
by a goat man. Also, the blood and guts are not of human origin.
Oh shoot. The blood and guts on the human?
Correct.
Oh, I feel like I'm being a Witcher, whatever the Witcher version of bamboozled is.
Yeah. Why don't you say that in a gravelly voice?
Oh, I feel like I'm being whatever's the Witcher version of bamboozled here.
Perfect.
It wasn't perfect,
just-
but thanks.
Just then you hear a voice. Oi, Witcher scum! Back away from that bloody murderer!
Is it Jim and his plain wife?
It's not Jim and his plain wife. The butt end of a sword connects with the back of your head and you pass out.
Oh, that's unfortunate
So
that he
so
called
do
out
Matt-
to me before he did that.
Do Matt and I need to be here?
Yeah.
You guys got your own thing going, and it's good. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
I'm in. I'm enjoying this, but
We probably should have done the flavor text before we did this, huh?
Andrew and I have been workshopping some Witcher fan fiction for a while now, and unfortunately, that has leaked into today's episode. I think.
Yeah.
I just need the listeners to know that, like, in our Google Doc, Andrew has a full paragraph with stage directions and clearly, like, pages of his own notes. And I have 2 sentences. And those 2 sentences are, I am a lowly cobbler. I cobble shoes.
You know what? That's probably a good time to while I'm dealing with whatever concussion I've been handed by Smelly Jim and his plain wife. Matt, why don't you tell me about your shoe situation here?
Well, Todd, I
He's
am
a
a
lowly
lowly
cobbler.
and I cobble shoes. So you find me, the cobbler,
Who cobbles shoes?
sitting at the end of the cobblestone road
Stop it.
Good.
in the shop in which I cobble shoes.
Are you eating peach cobbler?
I don't know how many other cobbler jokes I can make. Anyway, okay. So you find me, the lowly cobbler who cobbles shoes, sitting in my cobble shop in distress because I have this huge inventory of bright green boots and there is no one buying my boots.
It's a I see you have boots. Are you the person who has the snake problem that keeps giving you shoes and now you've got shoes and then shoes you haven't sold?
Witcher, I do have a snake problem. I am the one with the snake problem. The snake has given me no shoes. The snake keeps eating people and leaving only shoes. And so now I don't have any more people to buy my shoes, and I have an excess of shoes because everyone just keeps finding them in the woods. Witcher, I don't know what to do. Can you help me?
I'm here to kill snakes and collect 500 and then a pair of shoes, I think.
Great, of course, I'd love to give you a pair of boots. But you see, Witcher, there is a large snake monster, and every time it eats someone, it gets bigger. And it lives over yonder by the lake. You'll be able to find it by following the trail of boots.
In my head, I know it's supposed to be like, I'm assuming people that have died, it's their boots, but I like to think you've laid
Someone laid
boots
out-
in arrows.
Yeah.
No, I have certainly not laid out any of my boots. I only try to sell my boots. However, there are a trail of boots from the people that have been eaten hunting the snake. There are just a trail of boots. Will you follow the boots, Witcher?
I will. It seems concerning that the biggest cause for alarm in your village right now is that you have too many shoes to sell, and not the fact that people are being eaten. But yes, I will do this boot-related quest for you.
It is a huge problem, Witcher. You see, if you go to the riverbanks, you will see a large pile of boots. And in that large pile of boots, you will find the large snake monster. Because, Witcher, there's a snake in my boots.
I hate it. I am living in the 4chan threads that end with like, where'd you come from? Where'd you go? Where'd you come from? Cotton Eye Joe. Like the 4chan.
Matt
threads.
just IRL green texted us. Like,
So actually, I want to defend Matt for a second. I know this is like totally antithetical to our show, but in the books,
Jesus.
the first
Lord.
two anthologies are mostly just fairy tales that are put on their head. Like there is literally like a retelling of Beauty and the Beast and a couple other ones that I can't think of right now. But that is not incredibly unlike The Witcher. So good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been keeping notes over everyone's arguments so far, and like my notes for Matt so far say lowly cobbler who cobbles shoes, shoes on shoes on shoes. I hate Matt. Those are actually the 3 bullet points I've taken away from this so far. Kyle, I am so upset at what I've been given so far. What are you bringing to the fairy tale potluck?
Well, not half a D&D campaign, and not a long road to a bad joke. So you take the flyer written on nice parchment, and you flip it over. You flip it over, and you see it's got directions to an estate. You go head to this estate, and as you go there, you pass through this very poor looking town. Like poorer than Villager Jim's town. Like it's in rough shape. You walk down this road through this town, and at the end of the road you see this very large estate, huge mansion, fenced off, surrounded by a stone fence. You walk up to the gate, and you are greeted by a very, very haughty looking gentleman who is the man who posted the flyer, and he explains to you that he's the viceroy of this town, in exchange for protection from bandits, thieves, monsters, etc. He collects a tax from his subjects, the people in the town you just walked through. However, recently there's been something taking off with the villagers' livestock in the night. He explains normally he expects his subjects to deal with wolves and wildlife themselves. He dismissively explains, like, I can't protect them from everything, and like kind of rolls his eyes. But he sent his soldiers out to check out what was happening, and one of his best soldiers was killed by this thing. They were pulled up in the largest farm, and when the livestock were attacked, the soldier also was killed by whatever this was. And soldiers are expensive, and the dying livestock means he can't collect taxes from this village. So he wants you to deal with whatever this is. He doesn't care if you kill it, but he needs it to go away. He wants to keep collecting taxes because he's got these stables to finish, and his horses are going to get cold this winter if he doesn't build these stables. And he kind of sends you off to the farm where the soldier died to get you started on hunting whatever this is down.
Did he? The contract said hellhound, right? Was that a thing?
It did. That's my continuity error. I just
I mean, who knows what it could really be? It could be a goat or ghost monster.
It could be a snake in Matt's boots.
I don't want it to ever be.
So yeah, that's all I got.
That's fine. He So I show up and I get pointed down for money purposes. I need to go kill whatever this is.
Yes.
That's fair. I'm gonna go kill whatever this is because you're offering me the most murmur than anyone's offered me today.
Oh, money is no object.
Murmur's no
guy.
object.
He makes it very clear he is wealthy.
Can we not say money or currency? Like, those are pretty generic terms, no?
No, it's all murmur.
Who's
now.
leading
gotta
this
be
discussion
murmur?
today?
Murmur is the currency, right? I thought Murmur was the currency.
Andrew, you get to win on every count of naming the proper cities. Let us all win on saying murmur.
Deal.
All right. I like all this. Except for most of it. So,
Also fair.
well, this sounds like this should all be pretty routine stuff. I'm over that. So now that we're handling your quest, how does it end? Tell me about how we put a bow on this roach and we ride it home for dinner. That's Roach is the horse. Roach Zoe is the horse.
It's these jokes that only Andrew understands are really great.
It's always a different horse, but he always names his horse Roach.
It's never not Roach. So for those again uninitiated, many Witcher quests they end in like a dramatic finale or a turn. So my question is for you: how does this contract end? And cut the bullshit. What is really going on around here?
Is it the Scooby-Doo villain ending where like the first person you talk to is also the villain when they pull the
Damn
mask
it, Kyle!
off?
Don't spoil the ending.
it's the SVU style where it might not be the first person, but it's the guy that was in the background.
It's the person that answers the door when they're talking to and they're trying to find the person they actually came to interview.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Well, as you remember, you got bonked in the back of the head with the blunt end of
I
a
do
sword.
remember concussions are no joke.
Yeah. So you wake up in the middle of a dingy cell. Your head hurts and your vision is blurred. You hear some guards talking. Bloody Empire is telling us to pack up and retreat to the capital. They don't want more casualties on account of some demon roaming the woods. Fuck the rumors. Don't they know we have the real culprit right here? Vizima is saying he's to be released immediately. Says it's coming from the top. Besides, the body was cold when we found it. That's a pile of shite. Because they say shite.
Yeah.
I'm not letting another opportunity slip. Oi, the Witcher scum is awake. Okay, so that's like a joke, right? It's like every time somebody greets you, it's like, oi, Witcher. Because everybody hates you.
And you're very obviously a Witcher because all Witchers have bright yellow eyes. That's like the one defining feature. So it comes up over and over and over again.
Well, it's like 'cause people are afraid of you because you're basically a murder hobo.
You're a
you
mutant.
are a D&D. Yeah, you're an X-Men character. You are a D&D hero.
Yeah. But like a hero that is just paid to do stuff. Like you take on contracts without really thinking about morality.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so the Nilfgaard approaches you. Good morning, princess. Did you sleep well? So at this point, Todd, this is your decision point. How would you like to proceed here, knowing full well that you can easily take these nerds?
I am. How many nerds are there to be taken?
There are 3 nerds.
Okay, I'm gonna instantly take at least 1.5 nerds.
You kill all of them by mistake.
Well, such is life
Let's
of
say-
a Witcher, am I right? I would
Boom,
probably
boom,
do.
boom.
I would do. What's the fire spell? Is it called Ifrit in this one?
Igni.
Igni, that's it. Yeah, I'm shooting fire at him because fuck him.
So 2 of them burn up to smithereens, and the third one surrenders. And
Is it Jim?
did
Jim surrender?
No, Jim's not a Nilfgaard.
Oh, well.
Jim's just a greasy townsperson.
Oh, okay.
So the third guard, who we won't name, he surrenders and he makes you a deal. He says, I will give you 2,000 murmurs for the return of the head of the monster who's actually terrorizing this village.
Yeah, that sounds better than the current 1,000 murmur I'm being offered, and is still the same result, I think. So yeah. Also, let me out of here, or I'm going to also kill you, nameless henchman number 3.
He lets you out. Also, he's very greasy as well.
Oh man.
So you head back to the scene where you saw that Nilfgaard body. You investigate a little bit more. You pull up on some more detective mode, and you find a bloody cleaver stashed kind of far away in a bush. You see a little engraving on the hilt.
And I would like to examine the hilt.
It says, "To me, very plain wife."
Oh, I'm going back to Jim.
And the rest and the name is actually faded out, so you can't see the name.
I'm gonna go back to Jim. I'm gonna.
Yeah, you're sure
gonna-
going back to
I'm gonna
Jim's house.
Point that bloody cleaver at him. Actually, I'm probably gonna throw it at him.
So you head back to Villager Jim's house, but no one is home. Are you gonna do a B&E?
Oh, I'm gonna do a little light B&E. I'll break that door open.
Yeah, you super break that door
Yeah.
open with your wind spell, and half of the hut just blows into little planks of wood.
Yeah.
You search around and you find a bloody goat head that's been hollowed out.
Oh shoot, he's been
Yeah.
the Leshen.
Yeah, so it's not unlike Kyle's Scooby Doo spoiler.
Kyle, you could write for Project Red, is what we're saying.
Yeah. On that goat head, there's a bunch of deer antlers that's kind of hastily fashioned together to look like the head of a Leshen.
Yeah. Now I'm hunting down townsfolk Jim.
Well, fortunately, Villager Jim returns from doing villager shit.
Oh man.
Oi, Witcher! what in God's name are you doing in me mud hut?
Oh, I think if there's a way that I can show him the hilt of the cleaver while punching him in the nose, that's the response I want.
Yeah, you catch him in the act. He's not very smart. So
He left a
he's-
branded cleaver out, so yeah.
he's a pretty dumb, greasy villager. Yes, you figured me out, Witcher. I thought if I could scare the Nilf Guardians away, they would leave our humble village alone. I dressed up as a Leshen and murdered that guard, and then I posted that contract hoping that it would help spread that rumor. All I want is to live a humble life with me very plain, very homely, almost borderline unpleasant-looking wife while we tend to our 3 remaining sheep. Tell you what.
Yeah, no, you go, Jim.
I will pay you the 1,000 reward if you can figure out how to chase those guards out of our town.
Jim committed a murder.
Yeah, so here's your
Jim done
quest
did a
update.
murder.
So here's your quest update, Witcher Todd. Do you chase the guards out of town, or do you take the 2,000 murmurs and turn in Villager Jim?
Here's what's happening. I'm gonna take the 2,000 murmurs, turn in Villager Jim, and then I'm gonna give Plain Jane unnamed wife 1,500 of the murmurs to live a better life.
Well, you can't do that because we didn't record any dialogue for her.
Oh,
so
that's fine.
you have to spend that 2,000 murmurs on Grandmaster armor.
Well, I need some new boots that I think I'm gonna find a resolution to. So, yeah, totally turning in Jim. Jim done did a murder. There was better
All right.
answers to what he did.
You go back to the Nilfgaard little encampment there. And
I'm going for the Paragon ending. So yeah,
you get your 2,000 murmurs. Quest ended.
done. And Jim got his comeuppance. It's more so because he was mean to his wife. That's not cool.
That was the real crime here.
Here, I said it before. The Witcher is basically just what if Lord of the Rings, but everybody was an asshole.
Yeah, everyone's looking out for number one.
Yeah.
All right, so Matt, it looks like I'm gonna find a pile of boots. Tell me what's. I'm following a trail of boots right now.
So you found the pile of boots. You have discovered that there is a snake in my boot.
You didn't need to say it again.
So,
Fantastic.
will you fight the snake monster?
I'm 100%. I'm going to force blast the pile of boots at a distance and say a cocky Witcher line, and then I'm going to absolutely fight the giant snake monster.
Great. On your way to fight the snake monster, when you force blast the hundreds of boots, out of those hundreds of boots, hundreds of small baby snake monsters come at you. Will you handle the small baby snake monsters?
Yes. I'm going to handle them with my Witcher magic.
Great. You advance to fight the giant
Cool.
snake monster. Do you kill the giant snake monster?
What?
Do you kill the giant snake monster?
Yeah, at this point, there's been so many snake-related attacks that I'm second-guessing my actions, but I've gone too far in on it, so yes.
This is like Matt's reading the novelization of a text adventure.
This is gonna end in another bad pun, isn't it?
Yes. It's super.
I was gonna say I've never played The Witcher 3, but I've played Space Quest 4, so I'm just going with
It's
the text
basically the
adventure
same
thread.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, I feel like there's been so much snake murder that Geralt is starting to second-guess himself. Like, did I find the wrong pile of shoes, and am I killing a totally innocent, like, wholesome snake? But too bad.
So will you kill the snake monster, Todd?
I'm gonna kill the snake monster.
Great. Will you return its head to the lowly cobbler who cobbles shoes for the reward, as the contract states?
I think I'm gonna do that.
Great. So you come back to the cobble shop at the end of the cobblestone road to give the lowly shoe cobbler who cobbles shoes the head of the snake monster. And he says, great! Thank you so much, Witcher, for killing the snake. That makes everything so much better for me. Here are the 500 murmurs that you were promised in the contract, as it is all that we could muster together in this small village. Would you like to cash in on your new pair of boots completely free of charge?
Since I've been running around barefoot for the first 12 levels of this journey, yes. I would love a pair of boots.
I think these boots are a trap.
Terrific. In that moment, the lowly shoe cobbler who cobbles shoes takes the snake head from you and smashes it on the table and begins to pull the skin off of the snake head and wrap it around the form of a boot.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's metal as
All
shit.
right. Oh, there it is.
In that moment, you realize all of the bright green boots are made of snakeskin. Turns out that the snake was a docile creature, but snakeskin makes great boots. So the lowly shoe cobbler who cobbles shoes has been stealing the baby snakes and taking their skin to make boots, which is why the snake always left the boots after it ate people. And now you have a pair of snake boots, the exact boots that caused the problem the whole time.
Was this just an analog of the fashion industry?
And what you discover is that through this whole quest, the lowly shoe cobbler who cobbles shoes has been the snake in the grass.
Get out.
I don't know what we expected would happen here today. I didn't know that there would be some weird like Ouroboros of literally like the snake that eats itself situation that would end with Matt just making me feel 1, bad, 2, stupid. And also in the end you've got Geralt walking out with these like fancy ass boots, but also he kind of feels a little bit of guilt.
Right.
But at least there's a shoe cobbler with a town all to himself and all these shoes.
It was the most side questy thing I could come up with.
It would fit, and again, like much to what Andrew said, it would just like fit in a weird village that you happen upon. So,
right, exactly.
At least I've got boots. The snake in the grass. Shut up, Matt. All right, Kyle. I've got fancy ass boots and a lot of weird environmental guilt.
All right, so you head out to the field where the livestock and the soldier have been killed, the last sighting of whatever this monster is. And you see giant like paw prints, like bigger than your average dog, bigger than a wolf. That arouses some suspicion. You walk a little further and you see the remains of the soldier, and he definitely looks like he was attacked by an animal, but not a regular wolf or fox or bear, but something bigger, meaner, and nastier, because these are very like the wounds have started to erode quicker than they should, and it's very gruesome, very ugly. So you start to follow these paw prints, and they kind of lead you back around back of the estate, and you find out, and you follow it. I'm making this up as I go along, so bear with me. And you follow it to a giant hellhound, trying to, like, sniffing around the back of the Viceroy's estate. Hellhounds show up when there is corruption, and are not happy, or whatever hellhounds feel about the corruption they show up for. That the Viceroy is exploiting these poor villagers. They're responding to the unfair taxation the Viceroy is getting on them. So you see this hellhound, it's trying to get into the Viceroy's house. What do you do?
I'm gonna call out to the hellhound and call it ugly and brandish my sword.
Good call.
I'm gonna try and provoke it.
It attacks you. What do you do?
Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna fight it. This is all right. This is supposed to happen.
Okay. So you're fighting the hellhound. you trade blows. It gets a good bite on you. You get a good like whatever attack you choose to fight a hellhound with. What do you
stab.
attack it with? A stab?
I'm gonna attack it with my silver sword.
Okay. So you wound the hellhound and it decides that it does not want to fight you anymore. Because you're a much tougher opponent than goats and this mercenary that the viceroy hired, and it runs off. Do you track it, or do you tell the viceroy you scared it off?
Oh, I'm definitely gonna track it because witchers have a witcher sense, which you probably may not know about, and I'm gonna use it to track this beast.
All right. So you you keep tracking it, and you track it around again, and it's much faster than you, so you're behind it most of the way, and you notice it just loops you back around to the viceroy's house. Like it takes you through this long winding path through the woods and loops back around. It is getting this viceroy. When you happen upon it again, it has broken a back door to the viceroy's estate and has gotten inside.
Well, now I'm curious what it's got against the viceroy. So I'm still gonna try and kill it,
I
But,
bet
uh,
it's a trap.
but I'm also watching to see what it's doing.
So you go in to the house and you see you like there in the grand room, the hall. I don't know what they're called, but the living room, the fireplace, the trophy
Yeah.
room, whatever it is. The hellhound has the same haughty looking gentleman pinned down, just growling, drooling, eyes ablaze, and the viceroy just shouts, "Oi, Witcher, help!"
Kyle's winning.
Did I do that right?
Yeah,
Oi,
good.
witcher! Like
Um,
that.
I'm gonna call out to it. What is it? What does it have against you? Why does it want to kill you?
I don't know. I didn't do anything wrong. I offer protection to the villagers, and in exchange I charge a tax on them. I don't know.
He seems sketchy, but witchers do enjoy killing for contracts, and I want its mutagen to build into a benefit for my witcher later, so I'm gonna kill it.
Okay.
Nice.
That all made sense. You kill the hellhound, the viceroy.
It's like materia. Pretend it's like materia.
Yeah. That's your
Um,
skill tree.
You kill the hellhound, it dies, because that's what things do when you kill it.
Nice.
The viceroy thanks you, pays you the 5,000 remembers, and says, "Great, I can, my subjects can get back to work. They can pay the tax that they owe me, and I can finish my stables. Thank you, Witcher." And you go about your day, I guess.
I definitely I want to know why it was trying to attack him. Is he gonna? He's not sharing. It's just doing it.
The out of universe answer was just he is more than collecting taxes. He is shaking down these villagers and just being a generally nasty dude.
Sounds like you've made us a real bad guy, Kyle.
He's a bad guy. He's not a good guy.
He's not good like Villager Jim.
Is he the like might seduce your dad type bad guy?
Stop.
Damn it, Matt.
Why'd we let Matt in this episode?
I don't know why I'm here, guys. I don't know what other role I fill in this.
Why'd we let him keep going after Snake
You're
in
like
my
the
boots?
straight man. You're like the Jerry Seinfeld. Your audience like looks at this conversation through your eyes.
Right, exactly. That's it. I'm merely a looking glass.
Good. I'm glad we're here. All right. So you've answered my questions 3, and we are gonna take a quick break. But before we do that, I want to give you all the super secret bonus questions. And I typed up this question before we started this. So when I read off what I've written, well, the first line is your missions have all been very, very good, and I want,
and I don't want any of you to think that that's true.
Yeah, I don't feel good about lying to you when I can see you on this call. But I'm still gonna say what I wrote. All right. So the super secret bonus question is that or the prompt is that your missions have all been very, very good. So good that we're going to revise your story into a DLC pack or for a DLC download, and we're going to pack it up as a new main story arc. So
Great news.
yeah, I really had to preface what I said with what I said. So your super secret bonus question is, tell me, what is the new story that we're going to follow with your character, and what is the title of the DLC pack that they are headlining? So you think about that, and we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Hey everybody, Andrew and Kyle here. Want to remind you that we are doing an all-day marathon stream for Extra Life on November 2nd.
We're going to be playing games like Untitled, Goose Game, Super Mario RPG, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I might play some auto chess or some Pokemon or something.
Hell yeah.
We'll see.
I'm ready for that auto chess content.
We'll see what happens that day.
One of us may very well be a very horrible goose.
Oh, we're all going to be very horrible geese.
We're going to be being horrible geese together for Extra Life, an awesome charity organization that benefits the Children's Miracle Network. And since we are located in Columbus, all of the proceeds that we do, all the donations that we accept, will go to Nationwide Children's Hospital here in Columbus, Ohio. Which would be pretty great.
Yeah, we're very excited. Once again, Andrew, when are we doing that? How long are we doing it for?
That's a great question, Kyle. It's going to be Saturday, November 2nd. Right now, we're thinking 8 a.m. to 8 a.m., Saturday to Sunday. And you can see it on twitch.tv/debatethiscast. Again, that's twitch.tv/debatethiscast.
Again, we're going to be doing a 24-hour stream, so there'll be plenty of time for you to check in. We look forward to seeing you.
And we're back. Wow, that was a great message. Hey, we're doing a thing. So, the super secret bonus question.
God damn it.
Listen, I
hope that ad break was about us doing a thing.
Well, I meant we're
something else.
I meant we're doing a thing here. Listen,
All around the world.
I am varying levels of impressed with your answers and infuriated with your answers, and I won't say who has done what.
Thank you.
Because
You're
it's
welcome.
it's everyone for both. So, the question at hand is, tell me, what is the new DLC story arc that is following kind of the adventure you've given me now? And what is the title of that DLC pack? Andrew.
All right, I'm going to give you the title at the end.
Yes.
So you walk back into the town. Several weeks have passed. You walk back into the little village, and there are now Nilfgaard banners everywhere, and there are way more guards. Just like it's littered. The place is littered with guards. Before you saw like dilapidated huts and like that inn and the blacksmith. Well, the inn and the blacksmith are gone, but the huts are like built up a little bit, and people are still greasy, but not as greasy.
They're less greasy.
They're less greasier. So yeah, and you see right in the center of town is a man hung.
Oh, that's not great. You don't like seeing
No.
that.
That's Villager Jim.
Oh no,
Oh,
Villager Jim.
Yeah, and there's a little sign that says like something like, they've made him an example basically.
Oh,
So you don't fuck with the Nilfgaard Empire. And hey, good job, Witcher. You forfeited this man's life.
okay.
Also, Villager Jim's wife goes and visits his body every day and hasn't spoken since he was hung in the center of town very publicly.
Nor before he was hung.
Yeah, he didn't really do a lot of talking before.
Well,
either.
it was implied that she was speaking before, but now she super doesn't. She's actually mute.
And she was wearing glasses to show time had passed.
Correct. So you meet up with the Nilfgaard soldier who's now been promoted to a captain.
Oh, all right.
And he's got you, basically the first couple quests are you hunting down bandits who have kind of been like stalking the village and trying to like cause a ruckus. And one of those bandit clans that you hunt down, you find is actually a demonic cult. And that cult successfully summons the spirit of Aleshin. So you actually fight Aleshin as the boss fight. This 6 foot or 8 foot towering goat man monster with antlers like a deer. who has like fire powers. I don't know. Leshens are cool and
Yeah.
like really hard to fight.
Would you say that they're metal?
They're metal as fuck. The name of this DLC pack. You ready?
Yeah.
Me Very Plain Life.
All right. Now I'm imagining as like someone who owns the game and they're like, oh, new DLC. I'm like, oh, cool. And I see that and I just go, what?
Yeah. Basically how I would react to the end of each of those quests too.
That's awesome. I like it. Oh, I don't like it. I want to be clear. I don't like it.
Thank you. You said you liked
Oh,
it. It's on record now.
All right.
We have the audio.
Strike that, and just put like air horn noises over me saying that.
Yeah, I can't believe I won, you guys.
Get out of here. All right, Matt. I'm obligated as host of this podcast today to ask you for your answer now.
Well, Todd, you see, you, the Witcher, as you walk away from the cobble store, you do realize that while you feel bad about your actions, your legs feel lighter and your feet feel better, and you can tell that these boots do have some magical properties.
Oh, that makes me feel better.
Yeah, these boots come with some amount of healing to them. They increase your stamina. I don't know if that's a thing in the Witcher games, but it is now.
You're right.
Boom! Check one. They also deal an extra poison damage on any hand-to-hand combat. Yeah, it's great.
If you kick them.
If you kick them, exactly. And it's like the first James Bond movie. So you love these boots. As you travel around town, everybody else loves your boots. Everybody comments on your boots and asks where you got your boots. And you realize that not only could you make money selling these boots as the lowly cobbler who cobbles shoes does, you could try to harness the magical properties in these boots, and you could try to distribute that to the people in exchange for murmurers.
Ooh.
So, as you travel around the land, you distill the magic properties of your boots, and you sell them to other villagers that you meet on your travels in The Witcher 3.5 Snake Oil Salesman.
Nice.
I'm so
Thanks.
mad.
I was waiting for Matt. I want you to know my butt was so clenched waiting for that pun. But I was waiting for these boots. They're made for walking.
Yeah.
That
No.
one's very good. Admittedly, that's very good. I was going for the snake pun.
Snake oil was good.
It was right in the same way that snake in the grass was also very appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rule of threes demanded it be a snake pun, not a boots pun.
Yeah, that's good. That's
But
very
these
good.
boots are made for walking. Is
Okay, no, stop.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle, I have vanquished the hellhound. I saved the bad man who extorts his people. What happens next in this full feature DLC?
So you have gone off and completed the main quest. Months, if not years, have passed. I don't know how time moves in the Witcher series. But you see another you go to a contracts board, you again just to look for something to do, and you see a familiar piece of parchment with the same like letterhead that the last one that this viceroy sent out had, asking for a witcher. There's a very large sum of money on it, but they aren't going to disclose any more details until you show up in public. It's just like 10,000 murmurs. And
Oh, it's so many murmurs.
yeah,
That's a lot of murmurs.
a lot of murmurs. So you're like, well, I finished the main quest.
Yeah.
It's a lot of murmurs. You head back to the viceroy's estate. This time, it is not the same mansion estate house, but a full-on castle. There is no town, or where there was a town is now more of a city surrounding the castle with a white stone fence around it, very large. So you walk up to the front gate. It's very ornate gate. They open the gates for you. The viceroy has given his guards your description because you start to suspect fishing specifically for you. You walk through the city, and you notice everyone in the city has very hollow black eyes.
Oh.
You walk up to the castle, and every person you pass, and all the animals too, like all the stray cats, all the dogs in town, all have these hollow black eyes. And you walk up to the castle, you go inside, pass all the guards again with these black eyes, and go in and talk to the viceroy now, who has now been made a duke, I guess, something higher
Whatever
than a
is
viceroy.
better.
Yeah.
Meow, meow, meow.
And he starts to exposit to you that when he was attacked by the hellhound and you saved his life, he realized two things. One, he was very weak. He did not like, he thought of himself as a big, strong, rich man, and this hellhound kind of proved him otherwise. So he realized he was very weak and wanted to fix that, and that things of hell are very strong. So he reveals to you he has made some very occult dealings.
Uh-oh.
Yada yada away, but this whole castle city is under his control, and all of its inhabitants, including all the animals and whatever, are possessed by demons.
Oh.
While he wants to thank you for sending him down this path so many months ago.
Good job.
He also knows that a witcher is probably his biggest threat in this world to his power, and has lured you here to take you out. All the doors in this grand room open, and masses of people with these black eyes come in and start to move toward you, because you are in the Witcher : Hell Town.
Good.
Kyle, can I pitch an alternate title for you? It just
Please.
popped in my mind. Witcher 3, of Viceroy and Men.
There it is. That's good too. Matt, do you have one? Is it snake related?
No,
Shut up. Good.
I've only got one. I've only got one snake pun left, and it's for my closing statement.
Well,
All right,
okay.
good.
So Matt, having said closing statement, so you've got one last chance here to sell me on your quest line. Give me a quick hot take or your final thought or closing statement as to why your story should be part of this witchering world.
Villager Jim
Stop. Nope. Next.
and his villager Jim and his very plain wife lived a very plain life until he encountered some very plain strife and picked up a very plain knife and murdered somebody. The end.
Is The Witcher all about puns and I didn't get that memo? Like
Project Red, bring us on board. We'll do this for free for you. All right. Matt.
Todd, if you take on the quest line that I have laid out for you in this debate, not only will you be a great civil serpent to the people of this town, you will handle all the snakes in the realm, and you won't just be the Witcher, Todd. You will be the snake charmer.
Okay. All right. Sticks the landing. Kyle.
Todd, I don't have a bad pun or
Thanks.
series of rhymes for you. So if that's what you're looking for, I'm sorry.
Hey, it's not.
What I do have is a minor side quest that turns into like a endless just slaughtering spree as a DLC.
Ooh.
Where you just are slaughtering through demon possessed people and trying to last the longest, and then posting your results on Twitter, comparing them to everyone worldwide.
Did you just give me a Fortnite?
The Witcher 4 COD Zombies.
There it is.
It's exactly one Fortnite.
So you've given me a lot to think about, and I just need to reflect on that. I also need to go visit Yennefer to deal with some things involving a unicorn. So while I do that, why don't you all take some time to say some nice things about what you've done to me today?
Boy, howdy, was this fun, you guys. Oh man, good times had by all. Hey, Matt and Kyle, well done. You guys stepped into the sweaty snakeskin boots of a franchise that you've never messed with before, and you didn't knock it out of the park, but you damn well close came to it. So good job.
At least hit a few runs.
Yeah, et cetera, with this metaphor.
Made it to base a couple times.
Yeah, you did a thing. Matt, the snake puns were excellent, always on point.
Thank you.
Kyle, the demon slaying fourth quarter there is very good, very fun. That's what you want out of a DLC, is just more killing, more verb sets for more killing. Well done, boys.
Yeah, man, I'll start with Kyle. Way to do a significantly better job than me at talking about The Witcher 3 that neither of us had played.
Did I?
Yeah. I mean, it seemed like it. I don't know. The words you said made more sense than mine. Although it had less puns, it definitely made more sense. Also, Andrew, this was definitely a lot of fun, and it was fun to hear how much you know about The Witcher and the Witcher series. For me, this episode was like going to the big youth group with the cool kid from middle school. I didn't really understand anything that happened, but I had a good time.
You were just excited to be involved.
Yeah,
there was pizza and ping pong, and that was cool.
So I enjoyed the ride, and it was fun for me, and I hope it was fun for you. And good job with all of the effort you put into this.
Yeah, so I won't pretend to know what Todd is thinking, but Andrew, congratulations on winning today.
It's been a while. Usually I'm the wild card, so
You
it's
clearly
nice to feel...
have played these games and read these books and know what to say to answer these questions properly.
There will 100% be a Witcher flavor text here on or around the time the Netflix show comes out.
Andrew's recording it on his own too. He just started and hasn't told us.
We'll just splice in reactions from the rest of them.
And Matt, that was a very good long walk to the bad pun. I'm always a fan of the better Nate than Lever style jokes. If anyone knows what that is, it was very, very good cover for being in my similar shoes and not knowing anything about the Witcher universe, except that there is a thing called a Witcher, and it's somewhat a medieval setting. Was all I had. That's all. Those are my good vibes. Good job, everyone.
So, today you all felt what I feel when we talk about Pokemon. except Andrew, you felt what I feel when we talk about Super Mario RPG.
Fallout.
Except once Matt got hooked on Fallout lore, and then Matt became me.
That happened.
So yeah, Andrew, you won, but I want you to know something. I'm not happy to be stuck with Jim and his boring wife. But it's
very plain.
It's what I'm taking, and I want to really say, Matt and Kyle, you guys did two things that could have feasibly been thrown into The Witcher, and like I want to give some honorable mention to Matt. Because you, up until you literally said there's a snake in my boots, I did not see it coming.
That's the best. I'm so glad.
I knew something was coming because you were saying boots too many times.
That's a dead giveaway.
But I didn't know there's a snake in my boots was the punchline. I just tried to make a generic quest that could have gone in anything. So I'm glad it could have worked in The Witcher. That's all I was going for.
It was just really, you all did a really, really good job. Like to do a thing that you know nothing about and actually feasibly, Kyle, your DLC turnaround, that would straight up happen. That a somewhat minor character who played a side quest, oh, dark power's great. This is fantastic. I went from being just normal bad to really bad.
That's basically Hearts of Stone.
Yeah.
Which is an actual DLC pack.
Hey.
Yeah.
I did it.
With that, we'll go ahead and wrap up. Thanks for listening in to Debate This and joining us for Spooktacular Express 2019. We've super had such a good time giving you that spooky content that you crave, and we cannot wait to do it again next year.
Spooky year.
The next spooky year. But before that, Andrew, why don't you tell them what we are doing this weekend?
we're making bad decisions.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, well,
and-
be more specific about what we're doing this
But
weekend.
specifically, we're going to be live streaming Saturday, November 2nd. We're going to start at 8 o'clock and go through to 8 o'clock on Sunday. And I've been told apparently is a daylight savings time, so that's actually a 25-hour
Are
stream.
you serious? I hate this idea.
Fuck. Yeah, it's a terrible idea, but we are going to be making bad decisions together and being mischievous geese together for sick kids. So this 24-hour marathon is benefiting the Children's Miracle Network, and specifically, since we're in Columbus, Nationwide Children's Hospital, twitch.tv/debatethiscast. Again, that is twitch.tv/debatethiscast.
Also, make sure you're following along with the argument on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at DebateThisCast, and check out our website at debatethiscast.com. If you like what you hear, please leave us a spooky review so more people can hear our spooky, nerdy, and spooky, dumb, spooky show.
And so Todd stops doing that, please.
I have to wait 11 more months to do it. Let me have this. Until next time, I'm Todd Thomas.
I'm Andrew, well, in the books, Henderson.
I'm Matt, all out of snake puns. Cole.
And I'm Kyle, just happy to be included, Harper.
Saying thanks for debating with us. And if you think we're wrong, then you can come fight us behind the spooky swing sets, nerds.
Spooky nerds.
What you mean, spooky nerds?
Spooky nerds.
Spooky nerds. Spooky.